Studio 7 from the Permian Basin Chevy dealers.
Well, let's shift gears now and think about food. In this week's Kiss the Cook, everything you ever wanted to know about tomatoes. We're making the most of a summer fresh fruit. Yep, it's a fruit. Take a look. So today we're talking all about tomatoes. It's the perfect time of year and you have some great ideas for what we can do with them.
I do. Summer's one of my favorite times because you can get such good fresh tomatoes in the grocery store. And tonight I've got three of the most common varieties. We've got your regular large, what I consider a sandwich tomato.
Okay.
And then we have the Roma tomato, which is also called an Italian plum tomato. They're really popular in sauces because they're very sweet and they have a whole lot less seeds.
Oh, okay.
And then we have all the little varieties of cherry tomatoes. And they're just really sweet cherry tomatoes that you can put in a bowl on your cabinet next to a little dipping salt, pop them in your mouth during the day. They're really sweet like candy and they're really good to have around.
They're my favorites.
They are so good. To get a fresh tomato, you want to make sure that it's really red and firm. If you get a tomato that's a little bit yellow or a little bit green, you can bring it home. Put it in a paper sack that just barely pierce it with an apple, and after a day or so, it will ripen it up. So you'll have a ripe one.
So it'll ripen quickly with the
Yes,
apple.
it will.
That's so good to know.
A good fresh tomato will last about 3 days on your counter. If you have some that are starting to get a little bit ripe, two of my favorite things to do, one is to roast them. You take your tomato, slice it in half, put it cut side down on your cookie sheet, drizzle it with a little olive oil, salt, and pepper, and roast them at about 400, 450 till the outsides become a little bit charred. And then you can let them cool, and the skins will actually just pull right off.
Okay.
Pop them in a container. You can put them in a freezer or in your refrigerator. Use them for tomato sauces, casseroles, pastas. It's really good smoky flavor.
And then you're kind of freezing them while they're at their most ripe time.
Yes.
I love that.
Or you can actually put the fresh tomatoes on a cookie sheet, freeze them in your freezer, toss them in a baggie, and they'll last for 2 or 3 months in your freezer and keep them fresh. Then when you take them out, when they thaw, the skins will slip off easily so you can use them as well.
Such good tips.
Yeah.
I love that.
So tonight I'm kind of giving you a new take on a tomato sandwich, and I have taken just a piece of Pepperidge Farm 5-cheese garlic bread from the freezer and toasted it.
Oh,
and then I'm
easy.
going to take and slice just a big thick piece of a sandwich tomato.
That's almost like your meat.
Yes.
Okay.
Put it directly on, sprinkle it with a little bit of kosher salt and a little pepper. And then I love blue cheese, so I've taken a couple of varieties of the little sweet cherry tomatoes and I've tossed them with a little bit of blue cheese vinaigrette. You can purchase that in the grocery store, generally over in the salad section.
Yum.
Put that on top, and then since it is blue cheese, you can use feta or any kind. Top it with a little blue cheese.
So good.
And a little fresh basil, and you have a delicious open-faced tomato sandwich.
Wow, that looks great.
Another great idea is a no-bake tomato sauce.
Okay.
And in the summer when it's hot, this is a great thing to do. You take a very ripe tomato, chop them in a rough chop, add a little bit of fresh garlic, fresh basil, about 1/4 cup of olive oil, toss them and set them on your counter for about 2 to 4 hours, and just let all the flavors meld together. The tomatoes release a little bit of juices, and after about 4 hours, you cook your pasta, and you top it with
Renee,
your
that looks
fresh
so
tomatoes.
Fresh. Yes.
It is delicious. Then
Get a
I
little
like
bit
to
of the juice
take
in there?
yes, just a little bit of fresh grated Parmesan cheese. Top it with a little fresh basil, and you have a delicious pasta dish.
Oh, that's so good.
And then here we have your old-fashioned tomato pie. Generally, a tomato pie is topped with a mixture of mayonnaise and cheese, and it's a lot of really rich ingredients, which is delicious. But for the summer, and to make it a little less fattening, I've come up with this one. And we have taken a pre-made pie crust, baked it and cooled it off.
Okay, so it's already done.
It's already done. And then you're going to take just seasoned breadcrumbs from a can from the grocery store and put a little layer of that on the bottom.
Okay, love that.
And then we have here a mixture of half mozzarella cheese and half fresh grated Parmesan.
Okay.
So you put a little layer of that.
Love that.
And then here I've taken just all the different varieties of tomatoes that I had and mixed them all together with, again, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, fresh garlic, and you'll put a good layer of that on there.
Yum.
And then you'll do another layer of
Start over.
breadcrumbs
Yum. And cheese.
and cheese. and then top it with those tomatoes. And then you just pop it in the oven at 375 for about 20-25 minutes. And then I hit it with the broiler just very quickly to kind of caramelize the tomatoes on top and toast the cheese a little bit.
Okay.
And then we have here our finished product, which
Oh my goodness, a tomato pie.
and it is so delicious.
So good.
We'll let you have a little taste here and see what you think.
Okay, we gotta see. I can tell you
It's
my
such a
daughter's would
pretty
get this.
dish,
It already has
too.
a seal of approval. Let's see.
Is it good?
Oh my, that's so good.
It is very good. Serve it with a little tossed salad, and it's very delicious.
Tomatoes, it's the time of year. Enjoy these recipes. Thank you, Renee.
You're very welcome. Y'all enjoy.